You know, Thousand Pines' story actually starts back, at least far back as I can take it, starts back with a shoe salesman in the 1800s in Chicago. Turned out that shoe salesman had a little shop, and he had a nephew that was a troubled kid. He was just a kind of a problem child. And the family asked they asked the uncle if he could work in the shoe shop. And that young man actually came to be a Christ follower because of that uncle who was a Christian. And in the midst of all that, that young man had a pretty radical conversion and became a Christ follower. And his name was Dwight L. Moody. D.L. Moody was one of the leading evangelists of that century, actually. And D.L. Moody led a young man to Christ named Catherwood, and Dr. Catherwood later would become the pastor of First Baptist Church of Riverside. And Dr. Catherwood led a young man named Doug Jeffrey to the Lord. And Doug Jeffrey is the one that told me about Thousand Pines. And I think about that and just how the thread of salvation just goes from one generation to the next. And then I had my experience where God really touched my life, and I knelt down actually right in here in McKee Chapel and prayed the prayer, the biggest prayer I thought of and I thought I could say is that God, send me wherever you want me to go, and I want to be willing to go there. And I remember writing my decision in the prayer books in the back and just making that commitment. And since then, my kids have made decisions. My daughter stood right here and got married. And I just think about the future generations that are to come and how many more people will be touched clear back by that shoe salesman that was faithful to God in sharing the gospel to D.L. Moody, who shared it to Dr. Catherwood, who shared it with Doug Jeffrey, who brought me here, and so on, and so on, and so on. And the story continues, and it will always continue as long as God uses this place for His glory. We don't have all the books anymore. We have quite a few, though. I think we date them back clear to the late 50s still, the ones that are left here. And it's just camp after camp, person after person, and how they experience God in this wonderful place. Wow, here's an entry where it says 6 weeks ago today, Bobby Kennedy had been shot. I cried and cried. Says, God, I hope I'll get through this. Everyone is praying for me. Boy, talk about hard times. Heavenly Father, help me to follow you. Help me to face the temptations that I struggle with. Guide my life. Help me to love as you would love. High school camp, Thousand Pines, 1916. I now have the joy of knowing that Christ is with me always.